Hi everyone, this is Dr. Stan Gross. You guys have been after me for a long time to do this, so here I am. Optimal health. What does that mean? What does it mean to be holistic? What does it mean to be in a healthy lifestyle? There's so many ways to define that. But you know what? There's a lot of common sense involved with this. So we're gonna break this down into something very easy for you to follow. First thing we're going to talk about is sleep. Sleep is important. It's rejuvenating. It's when we heal the most. It is important to get adequate sleep. Now, what is that? 7 to 8 hours is recommended, but for some individuals, 6 is enough. 5, you're marginal with that. 10, for some people they need 10, but that's because typically due to stress or some type of inflammation. The body is good, usually functioning at 8 hours. So we're going to strive for that, right? That's what we're going to shoot for. So what's breaking up your sleep? I got to get up and go to the bathroom. Well, you can't really change that. If you got to go, you got to go. So you go to the bathroom. When you go back to bed, do you fall back to sleep? Some people don't. It's very difficult for them. So we're going to discuss ways to help you get back to sleep. Oh, my mind runs 10,000 miles an hour. Yeah, pretty common. So stress control. Sleep control and stress control are fairly closely related. So we need to address that, don't we? Aches and pains. Pain's keeping me awake. Well, we need to find a way to decrease your pain level, decrease your inflammation so that you rest well through the night. And there are natural ways to approach this. And I have night terrors. I have nightmares. Wonder what's going on there. Sometimes, again, it's due to inflammation. Sometimes it's due to just plain stress, physical stress, emotional, spiritual stress, you name it, can cause nightmares. You say, well, they're out of control. No, they're not. Nightmares can be controlled. You can overcome that type of process in your brain if it's fed the right information. Brain gets hungry for good thoughts as well, you know. So then you wake up. Well, what do? Well, most of us go to the bathroom. We're going to talk about that too. It's kind of a crappy subject if you don't mind my getting into it. But we'll get into details of what is normal and what is not, and why some of us need that first cup of coffee or tea in order to trigger that reflex to have a bowel movement. Emptying the bladder is another issue. For some, men in particular, that first flow is real slow, especially when we get older. And that may be prostate problems. It might just be an enlarged prostate, in which case later on that day, guess what? It improves. Flow increases. But it's still a good idea to have that checked out. You know, why mess around with it? And we're going to talk about breakfast. Well, we're going to talk about food in general. Some of us believe that our dietary habits are perfect for everybody. That's not true. Some of us believe that the carnivore diet is ideal for the human structure, for our health. And for some people, it works extremely well. And for other people, it doesn't. Some people are strict vegan. They're vegetarian, no animal products whatsoever. And they would tell you that theirs is the ideal diet. And it's not. For them, it might be. But for some people, it might be the worst thing they can do to themselves. There are others who are lacto-ovo-vegetarian. Others are pescatarian, meaning they have fish. So, what's right for you? Well, we'd have to kind of look at it, won't we? We'll do dietary history. We'll look at your BMR. How many calories are you burning while you're breathing, and resting? We need to address that. We need some common sense things to tell what you're doing. What are your health goals? You want to lose weight? You want to gain muscle? You want to just be more vital? Have more energy? Welcome to the club. Everybody out there wants that, young and old. But as we get older, we want it even more because it seems to be fading. There are ways to maintain that and hold on to it. We're going to talk about fasting, all kinds of fasting. Intermittent fasting, long-term, that is 3 days to 5 days water fast, lemon water fast. Is it right for you? Should you do it? And why should you do it? What are the benefits? And what are the risks? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about exercise. I know some of you are going, oh no. Yes, everyone. Now some of you are going to get involved a little heavier than others. Some are just going to want to do things at home. Now I'm going to tell you what I minimally expect for you personally. Because you see, it's different for everybody. If you're all stove up with, rheumatoid arthritis and you can hardly move, I don't expect you to go to the gym and put in 2 hours, 5 days a week. I don't think it's reasonable. I also don't think that excuses hold up. Everybody can do some form of exercise, whether it's yoga, whether it's stretching, whatever you can do at home to increase your muscle tone and your flexibility. It's still exercise. And I count that. So we're going to discuss that. Some of you will join me at the gym, or I'll join you at your gym. And I'll show you things that I think will be most beneficial for your physique and for your physical capabilities. Makes sense, doesn't it? Don't set up a program for 20 people at one time and expect everybody to get the same results. It's just not going to work that way. It's got to be specialized for you. Common sense. And that's just it. This is about common sense. If we're looking at diet, we have to look at what we consider to be food. And the balance of those things are important. So the balance that we do in our diet, the balance that we do in our exercise, the balance that we do in our sleep, and the balance that we do in our meditation and our prayer, our quiet time. That is so important to unplug from the world. You don't think this world's crazy? Of course it is. And you might be part of the craziness, but you still deserve time to yourself. Time to relax. We're going to cover a lot of subjects over the next year or two. And it's going to be fun. I want it to be fun. And I know it can be. It has been for me, even with some of the pitfalls I've faced in the past year or two. I still enjoy the journey. And that's what I want for you. So, get ready. We're going to be doing session after session after session. And I'll take suggestions. I want you to comment on what you want. And we're going to face that. We're going to do this together. Thanks for watching. We'll get together real soon.